A reminder that you can support our podcast a couple of ways. First, go to www.tinyurl.com/radio don and click shopping and support. You can put a little money in the piggy bank, or you can shop one of our affiliates. One of them is Ring Central, your business solution in the cloud in terms of phonage. Uh, you don't have to have all that PBX stuff at the bottom of your basement. You can, clear it for other stuff like a meeting room or dungeon or whatever it is. Uh, Ring Central connects all of your telephones into one central location in the cloud, so you are free to do whatever you need to do. Also, there are now meetings, HD meetings, where you can actually connect with your team on your cell phone, on your smartphone, I should say, on your computer or tablet, laptop, whatever. For more information, just go to www.tinyurl.com/radiodon, click shopping and support, and find the Ring Central page. Ring Central, your business phone solution in the cloud. Coolest theme on Spreaker. Hello, everybody. It's Don. Welcome to whatever we're doing here, the podcast. We're on the air everywhere. I'm casing your face, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Let's get this thing down. Here's the thing. I'm trying. Thank you. It's great that I now have a studio on my phone to do this, but unfortunately, I have the world's biggest thumbs, and they say, big thumb, big feet. I don't know. Anyway, it's really hard to do this sometimes when you're just they have a volume control for the music and all that. And the thing is, you have to use your finger, and since I'm using my thumb, sometimes it's awkward. Anyway, welcome. It's the 20th of November. It's chilly here in Southern California. I take back all the things I said to all you poor snowbirds in Buffalo, New York. I mean, I've seen some pictures of. I mean, there's one picture out there. If you have not seen this, I swear, it is the most frightening picture I've ever seen in terms of snow. Snow had piled all the way up to the person's door. This person is trapped in their home, I should say, by the snow. And you're seeing snow about as high as a human. I mean, you've seen pictures of places like Buffalo, New York, and places like that. The flyover is really getting drenched, and we are talking about an emergency situation. So if you are listening to us in all of that, our thoughts and our prayers are with you. And this is what you get for voting red. Um, One of the great joys of growing up in the '60s was listening to Bill Cosby albums. Um, Why Is There Air? The Noah sketch. If you grew up in that area, you know these things by heart. And there was one guy on the radio who was saying that he and his little brother, when he wasn't listening to Beatles albums, he was listening to Bill Cosby records. Because Bill Cosby wasn't a traditional comedian. Traditional comedians would just come on and reel off a series of jokes, and hopefully one of them would stick. But Bill Cosby was a storyteller, and he told some of the most amazing stories. I remember one of the first things that I downloaded, or at the time just taped uh, off of Showtime, was a Bill Cosby concert that he did, and he was talking about his wife Camille and how she decided she was going to have natural childbirth. And during that, she was doing all the pushing and the pulling and the Lamaze and all that stuff. And she said, "I am going to have this child naturally." Then she started having the child and the pains. Now she wants drugs, and now she's blaming Bill Cosby, and now it's like, ah! And Bill Cosby quoted Carol Burnett to describe what childbirth is, and you probably know the quote: "Take your bottom lip and pull it over your head." And it was funny, as one of the few funny things that were out there. And when Bill Cosby did his uh, his sitcom for NBC, not the first one with Joyce Buellifant, the second one that saved the network, it was, I mean, there were so many stereotypes about black people and black families and things like that. He just smashed them. Why can't a black family be middle class, upper middle class, in a nice home with a nice family? And really set not only Bill Cosby and the network up for business, but it really also set up people like Kersey and Werner, whose modus operandi was, basically taking a stand-up's routine and forming it into a sitcom. That's what they did with Roseanne. That's what they did with Britt. Forget her last name. Brett Butler and Grace Under Fire. Bill Cosby was a funny person, and Bill Cosby also was the greatest gift to children. He, he did a lot of shows about kids. He did uh, a revival of Kids Say the Darndest Things, the old Art Linkletter show. Or actually, it wasn't a show itself. It was a bit that Art Linkletter did during a house party. They would bring in kids and sit them down, and they would ask them, little questions and stuff like that. And the kids always gave some of the most amazing answers. And same held true for the Cosby version. Cosby did a version of "You Bet Your Life," the old Groucho Marx show, and he did it in Philadelphia. Uh, that kind of set the tone for people not doing game shows in Hollywood or New York. He did it in Philadelphia. Um, and of course, when Saturday mornings were Saturday mornings, it was Bill Cosby and the Cosby Kids. And Bill Cosby and the guys at Filmation had an idea. If you're going to do something that was going to benefit kids, why does it have to be preachy, and why does it have to be, sterile? Why does it have to sound and look like one of those old cornet films that you sat and watched in the classroom? You know the ones I'm talking about. If you're old enough to be me. Now, Bill Cosby in later years became the grouchy grandpa, but a lot of it, was basically etched in truth. That maybe you should pull your pants up and stuff like that. That's why what is happening now with Bill Cosby troubles me so. Because I want to remember Bill Cosby as that witty storyteller who was talking about Noah and the dad who was trying to discipline Malcolm Jamal Wilson without spanking him, and the guy on I Spy. A lot of people do not understand. Excuse me. The impact that I Spy with Cosby and Robert Culp had, because at the time, black people weren't headlining shows. If they did, it was a comedy series or it was something a little urban. The premise of I Spy these were two very successful, globe-trotting professional tennis players. And while they were tennis players, they were also spies for the U.S. government. And it showed black people getting romantic, um, black people getting into fisticuffs, black people on an equal footing with white people in a setting that up until then people really would not equate that. But because Cosby was so likable, not only could give uh, comic relief when needed, but also could be serious. The show was very successful and lasted several years on NBC. All of that, the history that Bill Cosby had created, is now going up in flames, and all in the space of 2 weeks, thanks to one stand-up comic who I don't even know who he is. That's the thing. One stand-up comic. Maybe if in the comedy pantheon, you know who the guy was. I don't even know his name right now. I do the show without notes. The one stand-up comic comes up and starts, talking about uh, old charges of rape and stuff like that. And now it becomes viral. Why? I don't know. I don't. I don't know why all this is happening now. One of the questions that I ask about anything is why is it happening right now? And I don't know why it's happening right now. I'm a fan of Bill Cosby's, and I don't know what to do right now. Here's what has happened in the last 24 hours. Janice Dickinson, supposedly America's first supermodel and fruitcake deluxe, has joined a bunch of actresses, women who have said that Bill Cosby took advantage of them. I know for some people it comes to times when the sheer volume of critical mass of people saying that you've done this means that you've done this. But for me, and I thought about that with the Sandusky case and a few other cases, when people suddenly start coming out, especially if it's somebody who's really famous, has a lot of money, I see dollar signs. I see the lawsuits piling up and get in line. Maybe I'm thinking that because I really want the cause to be innocent of all this. This is one of the reasons why I don't have heroes. Because you put somebody up on that's that pedestal, and especially these days with social media, so many people would love to prove that they're better than you are. I am better than Bill Cosby. You know, better than Bill Cosby. I posted in Bonobo, Bill, and a couple of other places a routine that Cosby did back in the 70s. And it was about Spanish Fly. I'm not going to give you what the routine was because I I wouldn't do it justice, but they're talking about Spanish Fly. It was funny. Now it's like he's talking about rape. And I don't know, maybe this says a lot about us. It's not too good that we're so willing to convict, and where is the evidence? I can say that Bill Cosby raped me. Where's the evidence? But then again, this is before rape kits and stuff like that. There were some things where there were settlements and stuff like that, and to the average mind, it's like, oh, he did do it. He's trying to pay it away. Well, maybe sometimes when you're trying to pay it away, the reason why you're trying to pay it away is you just don't want to deal with this. You're innocent, but you don't want to deal with this. You've got other things to do. You got your image to protect. So pay him off. It goes away. But it's not going away. Here is the main question. I believe that we all have that one thing that is a secret that we want to keep from the public. We may not be public figures, but there's that one thing. Maybe it's an indiscretion in terms of finances. Maybe it's a sexual fantasy that people would probably think you ill of. Maybe it could be anything. Maybe it's how you've treated women in the past. Because if people found out about this, oh my God. What's your secret? What's that little thing that you're hiding? I mean, let's face it, we would not be worried about the NSA looking into our lives if there wasn't that little one thing. And you can tell me, hey, I don't have that little one thing, so okay, fine. So the NSA will find nothing. No, it's a principle. No, you're afraid they'll find something. Everybody has that one thing. Everyone. Everyone. And maybe Bill Cosby's secret was that he took advantage of women that he in a way that was wrong. If that is the case, Bill Cosby should get his just desserts. But when it's proven he's wrong, and not 1 second before, in the last 24 hours, we've had the Dickinson accusations, the accusation of another uh, actress coming forth and saying that they had a Bill Cosby story. Uh, TV Land has taken off all uh, Cosby related materials. The Cosby Show reruns, you won't be able to see them on TV Land for a while. NBC was going to go into business with Bill Cosby on a brand new sitcom. That is off the table. Uh, Netflix was going to present a comedy special uh, celebrating Bill Cosby's 77th year on this planet. That is off the table. Question: what if it's proven that all of this is wrong? What if what if all of these charges, all of these women are wrong? I'm not saying lying, I'm just saying wrong. How do we say I'm sorry? Do we say we're sorry? Yeah, responsibility goes two ways. Whoopi Goldberg on The View the other day mentioned this. And she related a story about Paula Poundstone. You know Paula Poundstone. She's that goofy uh, uh, woman, black, short black hair. She's always wearing a suit and tie. Incredibly funny, incredibly witty. She's right now she's a regular on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR. And I'd say about 15 years ago, she was accused of inappropriate touching of a minor. Um, and there was a time when Paula Poundstone was persona non grata on television and radio. The charges were dropped. I don't think Paula Poundstone ever recovered. Yes, she's doing Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. Yes, she's doing um, talk shows and things like that. But I don't think she ever recovered. Because we as Americans, as human beings, whatever, we don't forgive that much. We're not a forgiving people. We make an accusation and it sticks. And if you're proven wrong, you just figured out a way to get off. You will always be guilty. OJ will always be guilty of killing Nicole Simpson. Even if they found videotape of somebody else doing the murder, OJ did it. But we have to ask everyone else to say they were wrong. Why can't the Republicans say they were wrong? Why can't the Democrats say they were wrong? No, why can't you say you were wrong about an accusation? So basically, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to watch it play out, see what happens. And if these accusations are right, Bill Cosby, Dr. Cosby, you deserve everything you're going to get. You deserve everything you are going to get. But if they're false, let me just say, I'm sorry I ever thought anything bad about you. Okay. Our website is www.tinyurl.com/radiodon. You can support the program there. You can listen to past programs there. We have all sorts of things there. You'll love it. uh, we also have a way you can follow us on Facebook, which is uh, DLP Radio. That's DLP Radio on Facebook.com. And if you download the Line app, you can now follow us there on the Line app, Line. That's available on the in Google Play and in the Apple App Store. Just download the Line app, and we're loading things there under the name uh, DLP Radio. Or if that doesn't work, try Radio DLP. It's one of them. Radio DLP or DLP Radio, whatever. And that's it. We will talk to you later. Bye bye.